St. Pay.
Thank you, Jim Pollard, and welcome to Nightique. I'm Edward St. Pay, your host. Well, big news in the world of politics. It continues, and this week we got word that the Washington Post recently profiled a D.C. psychiatrist whose patients say that they're suffering from what the psychiatrist calls Trump anxiety. It's a fear over what will actually happen if Trump wins the election. Most Americans read the story and laughed, while Warren Buffett read the story and purchased the company that makes Prozac. In other news from the world of politics, the White House on Thursday pledged a smooth and orderly transition to President Obama's successor in office. It's always a challenge. The hardest part, if Hillary Clinton is elected president, will be finding an office for Bill Clinton in the East Wing where Hillary can't walk in and surprise him. Big news from the NFL. The NFL's free agency is underway now, and the owners have added a new wrinkle. Players will be offered the usual negotiated salary, plus medical and dental, but this year they will also get a complimentary pole dancer. Under league rules, NFL player agents can now begin negotiating with other teams this week without formally signing a contract. Most will sign a deal now, spelling out how much they'll be paid, with a parole officer to be named later. 84-year-old Rupert Murdoch and his 59-year-old bride, model Jerry Hall, were married in London the other week, a couple of weeks ago. The age difference didn't make any difference to her because after dating Mick Jagger and being around Keith Richards all those years, it made Murdoch look like a teenager by comparison anyway. Hillary Clinton debated Bernie Sanders last week in Miami. And what got most people's attention, weirdly, was the color of Bernie Sanders' suit. Some people online said it looked brown. Some people said it looked blue. One thing everyone did agree on was that all of his suits looked like they come from the men's section at the Salvation Army store. Pot smokers are set to protest at the White House for marijuana reform. The protest is set for April 2nd, but protesters are being told to show up on March 28th just to make sure they actually get there on time. The Virginia Senate approved a bill making the electric chair the default method of execution if lethal injection drugs are not available. Meanwhile, California, always one step ahead, revised its default method of execution too. After being zapped by the chair, you transmogrify into a charging station for the governor's Tesla. Well, IKEA has removed window blinds that were determined to be hazardous to children. Apparently, they were almost as hazardous as the risk of stroke to the parents who were trying to assemble the blinds from out of the box. Well, tonight's show, we've got a blues rock new generation performer. His name is Johnny Riley from Texas. And blues rock is a fusion genre. It combines elements of blues and elements of rock. It's an electric ensemble style music with instrumentation similar to electric blues and rock. From its beginnings in the early and mid-60s, blues rock has gone through several stylistic shifts along the way. It's inspired lots of genres: hard rock, southern rock, and even heavy metal. The music typically recreated electric Chicago-style blues songs, such as those by Muddy Waters, Jimmy Reed, Howlin' Wolf, and Albert King. The lines between blues rock and hard rock were barely visible. Eventually, there was a return to more of a bluesy sound, a blues-influenced sound, and we saw that with the Fabulous Thunderbirds in the 80s and Stevie Ray Vaughan. Well, tonight, the next generation blues rocker, Johnny Riley, next on Nightique. Stay with us.
We'll be right back with more of Nightique after these messages.
This is our Gray's Box. It's a great way to snack. Fresh, tasty, and created using only the best ingredients. Choose from our range of over 90 delicious snacks. We'd like to invite you to try a hand-picked box for free. Go to grays.com and we'll send a free box directly to your office or home. It may even help you keep your hand out of the cookie jar.
Go to grays.com and enter the code GRAYS34 for a free box.
Grays.com. Snacking reinvented.
When you are looking to further your education, there's only one university that towers above the rest, Jackson State University. Jackson State University is one of the leading universities in research, technology, and innovation, graduating more than 1,300 students annually and a consistent growth in revenue. Jackson State University is ranked #1 amongst the HBCUs in research and development. Make the right choice, the one choice. One Jackson State University, changing lives one student at a time.
Credit card debt is a very real problem that faces most American households. USA Debt Consultants offers services to relieve you of your debt problems. Our partners work with creditors to help you lower your monthly payments, stop harassing phone calls, and avoid bankruptcy. Give us a call today to learn how to take control of your debt and financial future. Get your life back. Let us help.
Call USA Debt Consultants at 800-769-6406 for a free no-obligation consultation.
Ingalls Shipbuilding has pioneered the development and production of technologically advanced, highly capable warships for the U.S. Navy, Coast Guard, and Marine Corps for more than 75 years. Ingalls is Mississippi's largest manufacturing employer, and today Ingalls has an immediate need for more than 200 electricians at our Pascagoula, Mississippi site. Apply today at www.buildyourcareer.com or call 888-935-1507.
And now back to more Nightique.
Well, thank you. And now let's meet the young next generation blues guitarist, blues rock guitarist, Mr. Johnny Riley.
Hey man, how you doing, brother?
Good, and good to see you.
I like the young that you said. That's a good word. I'll take that.
Well, I mean, the next generation blues rock guitarist. I mean, I'm a fan of yours. I've seen you as you've been on tour and you've stopped in to our studio and we've become acquainted with your music.
Right.
How long have you been playing?
Since I was about 7 years old, I started playing out of that old classical kind of gut string guitar, but it only had like 2 strings on it, and I would listen to Jerry Reed records. That's back when we had the 33s, you know, and I would do that.
And you've got family history in Texas and in Mississippi, right?
Yeah, I've got family. My dad was from Texas. My mother was from Clarksdale, Mississippi. And so I was basically raised back and forth between Mississippi and Texas, just like Johnny Winters was. But I actually grew up playing all kinds of different music. My dad was a holiness preacher, and he used to say, Jerry Lee, if that boy don't quit playing like that, he's going to be playing in the beer joints. And I don't play in too many of them anymore, but I still play. So you're coming from country and blues. Country, blues, rock and roll, bluegrass, gospel, you name it. My dad, music in our family, he would play Mahalia Jackson records all night, the old 33s. On the old, remember they would like raise up and have the record player and stuff like that. He would play those all night and just keep playing the same thing.
So now you're touring around the country. Tell us, I mean, how is it, life on the road? Now, of course, we're going to hear you play some original music in a minute, but life on the road, you've been on the road for a while here lately.
It's unpredictable. We weren't down in Oklahoma, and we were down in Woodward, Oklahoma, and we played a charity event down there. Of course, they always pay us when we come in, but Bucky Covington, who's a country music superstar, was down there, and he was headlining the show, and we were supposed to come on, and of course you've got to learn to roll with the punches. You know, they're supposed to be ready at this time, but they weren't ready until this time, and you know, everybody has a certain time to be there and to do the sound check, and now, it was perfect. Then you had things going wrong during the show, so you got to kind of just roll with the punches.
Now you've got a theatrical show. You've got an upright bass player, right?
His name is C.W. Hasty, and he's one of the best I've seen. And what makes him different from other bass players, because I've heard of the bass players, somebody said, well, you get a bass player. I said, getting a bass player is not the problem. Getting a C.W. Hasty is the problem, is what we need. And because he's versatile, not only does he play, but I looked over on stage the other night, and he had climbed on top of the bass when he leaned this thing over, and he was playing it with one hand. Then he started bouncing, throwing his hat in the air, and it was more of a theatrical thing that he does, and it's kind of his, you know.
And Rodney Polk, your drummer, is a theatrical drummer,
I'd say.
Oh, my
Lord, yes, that's what attracted me to Rodney. We were playing, he was actually, the way we come across Rodney was, he was stepping in for Walter Polk. Walter was playing with several different bands, and he couldn't make it that night. And so Evan Leake, the lead guitarist at the time, got a hold of Rodney. Rodney came in and played. Well, when I heard him play, I was like, my Lord. So right in the middle of the set was going to be over, I took and did something and excused myself from the stage while they were still playing so I could go out and sit in the audience and watch Rodney. And I looked at my manager, Carol Marvel. I said, this guy's like Joe Cocker on the drums, and he's contorting and flipping and doing out, but he's steady right in what he's doing.
So your act is a theatrical type act. Now we've talked about this. You're into it. I mean, of course, you go the whole route with the costumes and everything on stage. You subscribe to the theatricality of music on stage, right?
Yeah, you have to, man. It's got to be a show. And the cool thing about these guys, Rodney Polk is an entertainer and he's a drummer, and C.W. Hasty is a bass player and he's an entertainer, and then you put me in the mix, and when us three come together, I'm telling you, it's magic, and it happens on stage every time. I don't have to worry about when I'm going to show up, you know, messed up or whatever. They're straight guys, good guys, and they come in and take care of me too, and they come in and play.
You know, there's sort of a thread that I feel runs through your original material. It's sort of like, you know, we talk about the crossroads and
Right.
the magical element where spirituality enters the musical realm.
Oh, yeah.
That kind of stuff runs through your music, doesn't it?
It does run through my music. In fact, I've heard people say they can feel things when play. I said, I know you can, because I believe that God blessed me to be able to play and sing, and that's what I do. And you know, if you can touch one person or get one person to sing to that fan, the charity that we did down there, it was for a handicapped playground for handicapped children, and they had that. And I have two nephews. One just passed away at 15, has Duchenne muscular dystrophy, and so that's what we were down there doing.
Right.
So it's very spiritual.
So your website and your information on booking, I think we're going to have it on the screen. And that is Mississippi Delta Blues.
Yes, it's msdeltablues.com. My manager is Carol Marble.
And that's the number right there on the screen.
Yeah, if they'd like to book us, good. They're constantly booking, so a lot of times I've heard people say, well, we won't do it now, we'll wait a month. Well, if you wait a month, you might not get us this year.
All right, now you're going to play 3 original songs when we come back from
Yes.
this break. We're going to that. Tell us about the songs real quick.
Okay, the first one is called Have Mercy on Me, that I wrote, and it was about, basically, I'm yelling at God through the whole thing, and about people, and you get to hear that. The second one is Down in Mexico, which is one of my favorites. I wrote that because one day I was on the road, I thought, I wish I was in Mexico drinking margaritas and chasing senoritas today, and I thought, well, I can go there in my mind, so I wrote a song about it. And the third one's called I Woke Up with an Old Love on My Mind. Woke up thinking about an old girlfriend I had way back in the day. I thought, I wonder if she ever thinks about me, you know, now that we're older and out of school and doing everything. So I wrote that.
Okay, good. We're going to come back from the break with Johnny Riley and his band, so stay tuned. This is Nightique. Stay tuned. Johnny Riley coming up after these words.
We'll be right back with more of Nightique after these messages.
This is important news for women using birth control medications and devices. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with a pseudotumor after using one of these birth control drugs or devices, you may be eligible for a cash award and medical expenses. Contact the law firm of Davis & Crump right now if you or a loved one have used one of these birth control medications or devices and were diagnosed with a pseudotumor to see if you are eligible for a cash award and medical expenses. Call now. Operators are standing by.
This is our Gray's Box. It's a great way to snack. Fresh, tasty, and created using only the best ingredients. Choose from our range of over 90 delicious snacks. We'd like to invite you to try a hand-picked box for free. Go to grays.com and we'll send a free box directly to your office or home. It may even help you keep your hand out of the cookie jar.
Go to grays.com and enter the code GRAYS34 for a free box.
Grays.com. Snacking. Reinvented.
This is important news for people who have suffered serious infections after hip or knee replacement surgeries or open heart surgery. Your infection may be the result of a device used in the operating room. If you suffered an infection that led to hospitalization or surgery after your hip or knee replacement or after open heart surgery, call the law offices of Davis & Crump at the number below right now to find out if you are eligible for a cash award and medical expenses. Our first consultation is free, and we don't get paid unless you get paid. Call now.
When you are looking to further your education, there's only one university that towers above the rest, Jackson State University. Jackson State University is one of the leading universities in research, technology, and innovation, graduating more than 1,300 students annually and a consistent growth in revenue. Jackson State University is ranked #1 amongst the HBCUs in research and development. Make the right choice, the one choice, one Jackson State University, changing lives one student at a time.
And now back to more Nightique.
I'm Johnny Riley. This is Rodney Polk and C.W. Hasty. And they're the Delta Beats. This is a song called Have Mercy on Me, an original tune. Well, I used to be a preacher, used to preach a word. Talk real loud, but nobody heard. Went on down to the old crossroad. Talk with the devil and I sold my soul to have mercy. Well, Lord have mercy on me. I said, Lord have mercy, Lord on me. You know what goes up, well, it gotta come down. It gets louder when there ain't no sound. Some don't like me, but some people do. And I'm gonna keep on playing and moaning my blues out. Lord have mercy, Lord. Well, now I'm banging on the table with my old coffee cup. Wish all the haters would shut the hell up. Live your little life and just leave me alone. Give me some money and I'll sing you a song. Have mercy. Lord, have mercy on me. Lord, Lord, have mercy. Nothing but that blues, Lord, looking back at me. Man coming around, Lord, to get his due. You gotta pay the piper if you want to play the blues. Have mercy. Well, Lord, have mercy. Have mercy on me. Well, Lord. Wish all the haters would shut the hell up. Leave me on alive and just leave me alone. Give me some money and I'll sing you a song. Have mercy. Lord, have mercy on me. I said, Lord, have mercy. I said, Lord, have mercy on me. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to kick it off with another song I wrote called Down in Mexico. Sometimes I'd like to go down to old Mexico and just disappear. Feel the warm breezes, walk the sandy beaches, and drink ice cold beer. Oh, but I'm in this grind, one day at a time, and it's getting hard on me. But in my mind I know I can always go down to Mexico. Well, down in Mexico, that's where I want to be. They got senoritas and margaritas waiting on me. Down in Mexico, that's where I want to stay. I keep working, I know that I can always go down to Mexico. Now the sun's going down in this old town, and
One waiting on me, cause you know my girl, she's been long gone. But when the sun comes up, I'll be getting up to do it all over again. But in my mind I know I can always go down to Mexico again. Hey, down in Mexico, that's where I want to be. They got senoritas and margaritas waiting on me. Well, down in Mexico, oh, that's where I want to stay. I'll keep working, I know, but I can always go down to Mexico. Let's go, boys. Oh, yeah! Well, down in Mexico, well, that's where I want to be. They got senoritas and margaritas waiting on me. Down in Mexico, that's where I want to stay. I'll keep working, I know, but I can always go down to Mexico. In my mind, I know I can always go down to Mexico. Let's do Old Love on My Mind, boys. Well, I woke up with no love on my mind. I woke up with no love on my mind. Well, Lord, my God, have mercy, Lord. The blues keep haunting me. I woke up with no love on my mind. Well, sometimes, Lord, I wring my hands and moan. Well, sometimes I wring my head and moan. Ooh, Lord, you got to help me. Well, the blues keep haunting me. I woke up with no love on my mind. I wring my hands and moan. Well, sometimes wring my hands and moan. Ooh, Lord, you got to help me. Well, the blues keep haunting me. Well, I woke up with no love on my mind. I woke up with no love on my mind. Thank you so much.
We'll be right back with more of Nightique after these messages.
This is important news for women using birth control medications and devices. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with a pseudotumor after using one of these birth control drugs or devices, you may be eligible for a cash award and medical expenses. Contact the law firm of Davis & Crump right now if you or a loved one have used one of these birth control medications or devices and were diagnosed with a pseudotumor to see if you are eligible for a cash award and medical expenses. Call now. Operators are standing by.
This is our Graze Box. It's a great way to snack. Fresh, tasty, and created using only the best ingredients. Choose from our range of over 90 delicious snacks. We'd like to invite you to try a hand-picked box for free. Go to graze.com and we'll send a free box directly to your office or home. It may even help you keep your hand out of the cookie jar.
Go to graze.com and enter the code GRAZE34 for a free box.
Graze.com. Snacking. Reinvented.
This is important news for people who have suffered serious infections after hip or knee replacement surgeries or open heart surgery. Your infection may be the result of a device used in the operating room. If you suffered an infection that led to hospitalization or surgery after your hip or knee replacement or after open heart surgery, call the law offices of Davis & Crump at the number below right now to find out if you are eligible for a cash award and medical expenses. Our first consultation is free, and we don't get paid unless you get paid. Call now.
When you are looking to further your education, there's only one university that towers above the rest, Jackson State University. Jackson State University is one of the leading universities in research, technology, and innovation, graduating more than 1,300 students annually and a consistent growth in revenue. Jackson State University is ranked #1 amongst the HBCUs in research and development. Make the right choice, the one choice, one Jackson State University, changing lives one student at a time.
And now back to more Nightique.
Well, thank you for joining us for tonight's show, and we look forward to seeing you every week here on Nightique. If you would like to stay in touch with us, you can email us via our website, and that's Nightique, NIGHTIQUE.com, and I'll be glad to get back to you with any information you might need regarding the show. See you next time on Nightique.
Thanks for joining us tonight, folks. Join us every week here for Nightique.